Sagittarius, this is your reading for spirituality for the month of May. I have a deal going, a bonus. I'll give you guys a bonus read from Love, Sex, and Romance if you guys hit 100 views or more. So if you get 100 views or more, you can share the video outward. I'm trying to open my viewing circle a little bit, so if you could help me out in that way, that'd be great. If you get your views to over 100, I'll give you a bonus love and sex reading, or work, or whatever it is that you want to know about. If you want to know about a different genre, then just post in the comments the genre, like work or just general, instead of love and sex. And we'll see what we can do. Okay. So the first cards here, we have the Gaia deck. I'm going to get into it. The first card I have for Sagittarius is the youth. I'm surprised, you know, at how many repeat, and I spend probably 3/4 of the time that I do these readings is shuffling rather than reading. And it amazes me how many cards overlap into. But when I was saying that and kind of laughing about it, the energies were saying, well, it's because people got other signs in their charts that coincide, so it's really the same, you know, some of the same energies they're dealing with. But nonetheless, the first card we have here is the youth. Number 3. And again, I usually depict this card as someone who is an old soul in a young body. So that could literally be us or someone coming to us in this way. I feel like they have a lot of knowledge to deal with. I do feel this does attach to us in some kind of way. We'll continue here. So someone in our midst or ourselves may have an inner star about them, meaning a connection to universal energies that really does know the right way to go here. Next card, Ace of Wands. Yeah, fire element, right? So we're working with desire, passion, and where we want to go forward. When we're at the Ace, we're at the beginning stages of learning to take action here in some kind of way, shape, or form. They're making me aware. The infinity symbol on the back of that spider. I didn't notice that before. I went through 2 other readings that had this in it. Didn't notice that. I don't know what they're trying to say there. But nonetheless, just give me a minute. I don't know. That's interesting. But anyway, really, the spider's spinning a web in a new way, in a new direction, right on this golden egg. So the beginning of something coming here. That's really what I get. And it can be in the realm of passion as well. Okay, next card. 5 of fire. Wow, we got some fire here. 5 of fire is about fighting, arguing, quarrels, spats. To say the least. This guy's about to punch this other guy out. And I go, I get that this is not far off. Like someone may have pissed us off. I'm getting a masculine now. Someone may have pissed us off to a degree, like hurt our ego. And maybe these words needed to be told to the Sagittarian, but they didn't want to hear it from who they got it from. And some exchange of physicalness may have happened because of it. Yeah. Like heavy. Like literally a fight. Not good, but it's something that this Sag, or it could be someone outside of you. I mean, you may be the person delivering the news. I'm not too sure how this sits, but it was like this person had an ego that needed to be come down a few notches here, and that person delivered that blow to do that, and they got a blow in return. But the whole deal is, the lesson from this is that that person needed to know that information. So whether you were the deliverer or the deliveree, I guess that, you know, you'll know where you sit there. Now, the youth. So again, I don't know if this is where this sits. I think this is going to be a doozy. Okay, next row here on the chakra cards. On top of the youth, what do we get? Princess of Coins. So we may have a youth in our midst here that is working their way forward, trying to gain skills in some kind of way. They may be using us as a mentor, or we may be mentoring them, that kind of situation. Yeah, there may be someone here needing our skills or looking up to our skills or gaining skills from us in that kind of way. In a work area or somewhere. Give me a minute, I'm missing something. They're just telling me go back. Yeah, this youth energy is not your energy. It's someone else. And I feel like that youth is looking up to us in a way to gain skill and momentum forward. And this may be in a work-minded kind of way, or somehow they see skills in you they want to garner from, and we're trying to kind of mentor this person forward, is the sense I'm getting. Because the Princess of Coins is really about, we're learning to strive to go forward, and I feel very much that energy goes back to you. So someone you're kind of taking under your wing in order to help them move forward. And this person is very smart and grounded, really, and guided to gain these skills from you. It's really, really good. Okay, next. Ace of Wands of Passion. And the new directions opening up here. What do we get on there? The chakra. 9 of Wands. Ooh. Okay, unfortunately, the door's opening and then it's like, I feel like I want to shut and lock the door. That's what I get from the 9 of Wands. This is about, this is where, the 10 of Wands, right? That's where you take all the wands, you put them on your back and they're hard to carry. This is one step below that. So the sense here is we have either a passion or a door that's opening up for us that is becoming too burdensome. Like, it's becoming overwhelming to a degree we want to give up on it. But our one wand that we do have in our hand here is flaming. So there's a sense here, all this fire, we just don't want to give up on it quite yet. We're going to give it another shot. But there's a lot of energy here for, like, I don't know if I got what it takes to go forward here. But this is just a new beginning, so I don't understand. But something here, a lot of weight in the direction of, like, I can't do this. But there's something pushing forward, saying, just give it one more shot. Okay, so there's something like this going on here. I don't feel it has to do with this mentorship thing. I don't feel it's that, but maybe it could. Just, we'll keep going here on this fight and arguing card here. What do we get from the chakra? We have 13, the Death, which speaks to transition and illumination. This is interesting because I was talking about the ego, and again, I feel like this whole thing, this whole setup, right? I think it was universally set up. This person spit this into your face in the way that they did because it's there to illuminate you. Even though it came off as insulting and whatnot, it really was there to help advance you in some kind of way. Though we are very much in a mode where we just, we don't care, I don't care. I just, blah, blah, blah. We're not seeing it for its worth in a sense. But somewhere here, there's an evolution happening. Now, this could be going back to the burdensome feelings and whatnot. But there's a transition that wants to happen here within the Sagittarius, is the sense I'm getting. And they're making me aware of a reading I did, and I'm pretty sure it was Sag. Where I said, and I quote, or maybe not quote, but basically there's going to be people in your environment that are going to push you in ways that you need to go forward. This is what's happened. Somebody came in their environment and told them something they needed to hear to evolve, and the Sag didn't like it, so then pop, snapple, and, or what do you call that? Snap, crackle, and pop happened, and then overall, I think it did do its job. I think we did take this guy down a few notches, and we did also clear up some things, but there's still a pissy attitude from the Sag, not understanding from a higher vantage point. They're just taking everything very personally, and they're going like, I don't care, I hate that person, and da-da-da. So this, again, may be the burdensome area. The new beginning that wants to happen, but it's like, no, I don't want to, but I'm going to give it another shot. We may be realizing some things in this way. The Death card is the transformation, the new beginnings that want to have, that new ways that we got to go forward. We can't go forward in the same attitude is the sense. So, next row here as we get into the wisdom cards, on top of the Princess of Coins, again, is somebody mentoring someone here. And age difference is what I got as well. 48, we're talking about obedience. So, we have someone under, I was going to say under our belt, but we have someone under our spell here. Okay, interesting. Somebody's not seeing things straight. Now, I got from the youngster, the person who is the youth of this, that they are highly guided, but maybe somewhat naive. This could be as well. I perceive them as smart, but it may be skill smart, not necessarily street smart. Okay? Now, 48 is about obedience, and there's a sense of balancing scales here in justice, being involved in some kind of way. Now, it's interesting as I see these as two separate scenarios. I see there's a great passion here in an area, and also a great anger and resentment in a certain area. And then there's this other area here that's full of yeah, I'll teach you, come here, you know, like kind of a compassion. So it's almost like three different directions, almost like three different people, three different lives, okay? So maybe somebody's living a double or triple life here, but nonetheless, the sense I'm getting here from this one area is we have someone who is younger than us significantly. They are learning skills from us either through job or whatever. This may be at a job that we are kind of mentoring this person. There's a sense of obedience. Now, this can be on the bad side if we're going in the wrong direction. Obedience could be, you listen to me, I'm the boss. And this may be kind of a codependent attitude that we've got this younger person here listening to us because they're the ones that would listen because they're young and naive, this kind of thing. So we got to be aware of that because there's a blind justice happening here. And the sense is that we may be taught a lesson through this, but it may not be the person. It may be the Sag that's going to learn the lesson, not the youngster. Okay? Because I did get a sense of kind of an understanding through this youth card, of understanding from a higher perspective. And that may be that we see this person as naive, like we can control them. But what ends up happening is that they do not allow this if we get carried away in our ego. And then on the other side, this is where the ego lies up. It's like somebody may be confronting us about this, okay? Ooh, okay, it's getting heavy here. Okay, down the middle here, again, we have a great passion to go forward. A lot of burdens in this area, a lot of, like the need to, or the want to give up, but not quite yet. We're going to give it another shot. On top of that, the wisdom card is complicated, yeah. This may be in a love direction here. We may have a mentorship in a business kind of way. May have a love direction that's not going so well. We're going to give it one last try, but there's stuff here. It's very complicated. And I feel like we may not be seeing all there is to see here in this direction. That's why it's not working. Now we'll move on to the transition here in the fighting attitude. The wisdom card we get there is wishing. There's a transition that's wanting to erupt through this Sagittarius, but I feel a repulsion. Like the Sag, like, and it may be the ego, just putting in our place, like not accepting that anybody else could be right but us. This is really what I'm getting. Because this guy, I'm getting like a thing, like, you know, everybody else can see, man. that you're off balance. Like, what, you just have to face things, da, da, da. And then him going like popping him one and then just walking away like, you have no right to say that. And it's like, wait, I have every right to say that. You got to face what you're dealing with here. And in hopes that he would realize, but it's not, it's backfiring. This guy's not realizing, he's just going outward in anger. And this is the Sag. I get that it's the Sag that's popping people in the mouth and not taking account for it. Like, not taking what they said too personally, to the degree that they depersonalize from it. They don't even absorb it. And they don't even let it change their lives, because there's a transformation that wants to happen with what was said here. It feels very pivotal from this person that we had this argument with. And then wishing, 19, wishing is on top of that. And it's almost like we're wishing things were different, but we're not willing to change our attitude in order to get it. This is really what I'm getting. So they're really, in essence, blocking themselves, because they're going to go outward angrily, and they're going to expect to get nice people. And that's not the way it works. You can't go outward in anger and resentment and bitterness and get love and compassion back. It just doesn't work. So we may be doing this in the friendship zone, because they're going, that was a friend. That was our friend that we popped in the mouth for saying that to us. So we didn't even have the compassion to look at our friends with compassion. Like, we don't have it in us. So things are not good here. We're not even looking at our world properly. Changes need to happen, and we're wishing for better things, but it's really not going to happen unless it changes in the Sagittarian first. Ooh, so kind of a temper tantrum here is what I get, like losing control of our emotions. They're starting to guide us in down the wrong road is what I get. We're going to start isolating, or maybe not even start. We have been isolating our friendships and whatnot. And that's what I get here. Okay. The divine cards, what do we get? Obedience on top of that. Again, I get that we've got someone either at work or in a different area than our personal life and our friendships. So wherever that fits. Where we are taking, yeah, they are very much our puppet, and they may idolize us to some degree, is the sense I'm getting. So feeding our ego quite highly. But again, they're very quiet and graceful and whatnot. But there's things there too that we're not seeing, even though this person is not going to go outward abrasively. There's things there about that relationship that we're not seeing properly either. So on top of that, we get the Hierophant. Yeah. And the Hierophant really is about that spiritual connection. This is the white buffalo woman, and she is very connected to all that is here and there, meaning above and below, universal energies and grounded reality. So that's that connection to inner knowing. I feel like the Sagittarius either is not connecting to this, denying this outright, or not utilizing any information that comes from this area as they go forward, and that really would be on the wrong side. So as we go into this passion and giving things another shot, but things being very complicated, what do we get there? Two of Cups, yeah. So a soulmate. A soulmate has come into the picture. And this may be, oh yeah. So someone is coming into the picture here to give the Sagittarius enough drive to keep trying, because nobody else in their sphere will be able to do it, because we don't have a heart connection with anybody in our sphere, is the sense that I'm getting. We've disconnected our heart in every direction, so now universe trying to tie them together in a heart-centered way. And they're very close to giving up on that as well. And the sense is, we do this, then we really do not have any hope to make any heart-centered connections outside. It's complicated. That means that it's simply that. There's a lot going on here, and some things may not be understood by the Sag or by the partner or by situations here. And also I get they're showing me dominoes. So what it means is that in order for the Sag to realize this, something has to happen before. There's a sequence to things. And it's like there's a few dominoes here that need to fall before we hit into the love zone, is the sense that I'm getting. And we may not be getting that in this soulmate relationship. We may have a soulmate here that's trying to connect, but this Sag has not had the 3 dominoes it needs to start the momentum of love here, is the sense that I'm getting. Now, it's interesting because we may have someone here that's already in a relationship on the sly. Because this Princess of Coins here, I'm sorry, but I get a high sense of taking advantage of a younger person for the naivety here. I get that the Sag may be doing this in some kind of way or another. They may be, if it's in a work situation where we're taking someone under our wing to learn skills or whatnot, we are taking advantage of this fact that they are naive and young. So we would not treat people in this way if they were older, is the sense they're giving me. Now, if we're doing this in a romantic kind of way, it's kind of like we're luring them in. But again, there's a sense of obedience here. As long as they obey me, we're good. But if they go against the grain, then we're going to have problems. But again, your instinct, you need to tap in there. So Sag really on the wrong side of the tracks here. And I feel like there's a soulmate partnership trying to come in to balance things out universally. This may be at a point of backfiring, but not as of yet. I feel like there's a few more dominoes that need to play up. We'll continue. Now on this wishing and this transformation and this fight, again, they're saying it's with his friend. So we may have punched a friend out because they said something to us. And, you know, like we have to deal with some anger issues is the bottom line here. Because the friend's going like, what, he punched me? Like, this is ridiculous. Don't you have any restraint? This is what I'm getting from the other side. Okay? Yeah, don't take it personally, but I mean, it's, this is the energy I'm getting. I'm trying to express it. So on top of the wishing, the divine card we get is the 4 of Wands. Stability. We're wishing for a stable home life. Yeah, and unfortunately, we got to get rid of our anger issues in order to do that. It's the bottom line. What is creating the anger? We don't know, so we need to find that out and feel that, heal that, and then we can go forward with these relationships better. There's a stability that they're wishing for, but there's change that needs to happen in order to get it. And right now, we're just going outward in anger at everybody and everything. Not good. Okay, next row. The Messenger card. On top of the Hierophant, we get Observe in Silence, 31. Yeah, I need to be still for a moment and watch. Because the feeling here I get from the Sag is like everybody's turning against me. But I feel like they're being paranoid. And the reason that they're paranoid is because they're not dealing with any feeling whatsoever. There's no heart cards here. There's one. And that's the person we're taking advantage of. They're in green. It's not even really a heart card. It's someone who's trying to gain skill from us. Trying to learn from us. Yeah, there's no real... There's just a lot of fire energy and passion. And when it's on the wrong side of the tracks, it goes into anger and bitter and resentment. And this is where it's coming from. So we need to use our connection to instinct and watch those people around it. So, because the sense they're giving me is, oh, everybody's against us, and they're going, slow down and look. See what they're doing. Observe and watch and see who's what. Because you're going to see that it's not that way, is the sense they're giving me. But we are so worked up, so fired up, so full of emotion that it is controlling our behavior at this point where we can't see straight. You know, seeing red, this is what this is going on with the Sagittarius. They're just seeing red in every direction. So, on top of the 2 of Cups, the soulmate here trying to come in. Show that you care. So there is a sense that we need to, but again, it's complicated. Why is it complicated? Because this Sagittarius is not yet ready to show love. They are in anger. You can't go outward and show love to someone when all you've got is to give is anger. So that's the problem that's the complication that needs to be cleared up. And the reason that we want to give up on things is because we're spouting out anger in every direction and we don't see no salvation because we're not getting it back at this point. So show that you care. It's wherever you can muster up The courage to make a connection is to show that you care in that way, I guess. Heavy. So in the fight and the death, the ending that wants to happen, the ending of the anger, really, but you can't just end anger. You got to deal with it. You got to heal through it, because it's really like fear and sadness builds up to anger, resentment, bitterness. That's all that. So we have to go back and find where the fear and the anger, or fear and the sadness sit, and then deal with that sadness so that we can drain that temperature back down to not red, right? So we had the wishing for stability. On top of that, we have courage. We have to have courage to, work through some of the hurts and pains. Is really because of what I know about what they've taught me about healing and whatnot. And it was a long road for me. Because all I did was cry all the time. And the funny thing is like, oh, you cry, you feel better. And no, it doesn't happen that way. If you're depressed and scattered in your mind, you don't know what you're crying for. It doesn't clear it up. You have to focus on what it is that you were crying on. Like, okay, so I went out into the playground and the kid kicked me in the knee, and I'm mad because he was my friend and he kicked me in the knee and he shouldn't have kicked me in the knee, and I cry about that and I feel sad about that, and I'm focusing on that. It's like, well, you didn't, and you cry. And then when you go back to see that guy, you've cried, you've let all your emotions out, then you have no bitterness and resentment because you've released it. So if you have bitterness and resentment, you have not released the tears that need to flow, the sadness, the feeling of the heart. You have not. And if you do not, you go, well, no, of course I'm not going to, but I still think he's a freaking idiot or whatever. If you go about it like that, that's your heart is shut off. So that's even worse. So you have no heart. And then you're trying to gain heart from that. You can't do that. You got to open your heart, let it feel, drain it out, and then come from a peace, calm and peace, and then go. This is the process. So for this person, I have a feeling, number one, they do not realize what is heart, not heart. They don't know. Why? Because their heart's closed. So they're not going to have a clue as to what brings out my heart, what doesn't, what's love, what's not. We don't know. We have no idea. So, one, we could be easily tricked in that way, and I feel like this Princess of Coins may be another trickster, but very subtle, but nonetheless. The thing is that there's subtleties that come from the heart, and if our heart is shut off, we miss those subtleties, they're gone. We have to, yeah, just give me a minute. They're going to spell it out here. Yeah, they go, just work your way back. We have to go, okay, what makes us mad? And then we have to go there. Okay, that guy punched me in the knee or kicked me in the knee. That made me mad. Okay, why did it make you mad? Well, because he's my friend, he shouldn't have punched me in the knee. Okay, so he's your friend and he hurt you. Yeah, cry that out. Cry that out until you have no more feeling left there. Cry that out, because that's reconnecting to that hurt. It's not that he kicked you and it's not that it was painful. It was that it was your friend and he kicked you and it was painful. So you work that way back, and then you go in there and you go, okay, yeah, that's what it really was about. It's my friend, he hit me. And you shouldn't have done that. And then if you truly, if you truly healed from it, if you truly drained all your emotions, and you are okay, then you can go back and talk to this person without bitterness, resentment, and all of that in your, in your mind, in your talk, in your speech, everything. You go, why did you, it's one thing to kick me, but you're my friend, and and discussing all of that. Then you can go there and you can deal with that in a more calm manner. This person here, I feel like they've shut off their heart, and they may have shut off their heart a long time ago. And they may have had a lot of stuff that they've not dealt with from the heart zone at all. They may not have tapped into their heart for most of their lives, frankly, is the sense I'm getting. And now they've got a true soulmate coming in here that they want to connect with, and they don't know the first thing about, one, how to heal from the past shit. that has nothing to do with this. And then 2, how to reconnect to a heart and show compassion for this person on a real level. They don't know none of it. So they got to catch up on all this work that they never did for themselves all along. Okay, so they got to have courage to dive in there and go, okay, I'm going to deal with this once and for all. Where are the roots of what it is, you know? Instead of just getting angry and punching things. This is not the answer. So as we go back onto the youth energy here that we may be mentoring or taking under our wing in some way, but in one way we are controlling them is the sense that I get. And we have to use our higher sense for this, and also to watch and wait and see what happens here, because I feel like there's going to be a surprise, and I don't know if it's in your favor. But nonetheless, watching and waiting. The above card we get is Venus, attraction. Okay. Yeah, we might start to gain an attraction for this person that we have somewhat control of, or there might be an attraction growing in a different way here. No, just give me a minute, because this observant silence is in between that. So there's a need to look at this person differently, though, is the thing. There's a need to look at this Princess of Coins differently in order to understand what's going on here. Okay, next row. Talking about showing that you care, a soulmate coming in the picture, complicated things, feeling like we want to give up. Ace of Fire again. We start with the Ace of Fire, we end with the Ace of Fire. It means strong personal energy. Connections. I feel like this is a strong personal connection that's coming forth. We have someone here that is younger than us in our atmosphere that we need to deal with differently. There's an attraction there quite highly, is the sense. Either we're denying this, or we're trying to make it more like a business, or I don't know. There's something here about this person. Venus is sitting here, so that invites us into all the beauty and the wonder of attraction. We need to observe this person in silence and see what's truly, maybe there's an illusion there. Maybe we're attracted or are attracted to this person, and there's something there more that we need to see. I do get a controlling energy over. Like, I feel like the Sagittarius wants to control this energy quite highly, but and I get a soft energy from that Princess of kind of obeying to a certain degree, but something's going to break there. Something's going to be illuminated. And again, I don't know if it's in your favor or their favor or what, but there's a need to look at it differently. And I think the universe is going to display that in a way where you're going to look at it the way that they want you to look at it, because it's going to be shown to you. Now, this soulmate here that's popped up, the area that we kind of want to give up on it. It's too complicated. One, I think the complication sits with us because we just got too much healing to do in order to really make any progress here. There's the universal energies trying to say this was brought to you for a reason, and also prompting you to show that you care. There is a strong personal energy going towards this person, and in this card, it's weird. It's like a salamander egg illuminating and connecting to all these other little eggs. And that's the sense, if we don't make this personal connection work, or, you know, gain headway here, we're really going to have a hard time making connections in the future at all to anybody, no matter romantic or not. We're just not going to, if we can't make this work, we're not going to be able to make things work outside of that. Now, on having the courage to really face our emotions and face our healing and change the part of us that needs changing, which is having the courage to face our anger and bitterness and resentment with compassion and tears and cry and find the roots here. We are wishing for stability, but we got to have the courage to heal in order to gain it. Simple as that. On top of that, we get the Mother of Fire. Yeah, nurturing growth. So this is a time where they want you to nurture your own growth here, because we really can't make progress outside of us anyway, because we're just in anger, bitterness, and resentment. So it's better to stay where the home fires are burning and deal with our anger and bitter and resentment. So what we're going to have to do is crack open that heart that's been welded shut. Start to feel from the inner hurts that we've had all from, and I do feel like this is even from childhood. We're opening this up, and there's a reason it was shut down a little more each time, and I feel like by the time we were 16, 18, that thing was shut right off. The valve was shut right off. It was locked in stone, and that's it. Throw away the key. So nurturing your growth, mother of fire, that is passion. We want to get the passion started, and they're going, look, she's trying to put her hand over there to feel the heat. She knows she's missing. She knows she's missing the heat in her life. But really, we have to deal with our anger. And in order to deal with our anger, we got to deal with the sadness and the pain of our past. And we got to have the courage to go there, and then we'll start to see progress. Because right now, there's no point in going outward in any direction until we do this. We're just not going to make headway. But if there's an area that we can gain compassion in, and they're going, and we will not gain true compassion because we have no heart here. Our heart is closed. So are we going to make headway, really? We're just going to be faking people out. So we want to go in a way that we are authentic, and that needs healing. Okay, so huge healing for the Sag. Okay, your power surrender card. What do we have? It says, ooh. Okay, sorry. Surrender the need to always be right. I feel like that's the fight card. That's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, yeah, man, that's the bar fight. You said something like, boom. Because I think somewhere the Sag knew he was in the wrong, and he couldn't do anything but punch him. Because he couldn't reason, because he was right. The guy was right. So he just popped him one and just walked off because he was so mad. And so that is kind of that energy. Surrender the need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationship. So the need to always be right, again, that's an ego thing, right? I'm right, you're wrong, and that's it. There's no in between, and there's no like, you're right. Because they can't deal with that. They can't. It's like their ego can't take that. So they have to surrender the need to always be right, and that will help resolve conflicts. Well, it'll help with this buddy anyway. If you can at least say, you know what, I'm sorry, man, I punched you. You were right. What you said, you were right. I had time to think about it. Then the other person really starts to melt into that compassion as well. But if you go and you say, you're such a doink, and or other 4-letter words, and you can't, you're such an idiot, like, da da da, then you just escalate things. It just gets worse. It doesn't get better. So they want you to improve your relationship. So the need to always be right is a click here. So be aware of that. Surrender that, and that will help you. Now, the angel card that they got is Gabriel, talking about purpose. Gabriel. Okay, so let me read from the book here. There it is. Okay. Gabriel's been chosen to communicate messages to humans and to express wisdom and observation on life and the collective soul of spirits who have incarnated on earth. We have evidence of this ability to proclaim. The intentions through the centuries with the mighty Gabriel giving Muhammad the prophet instructions for living and revealing significant events to come to Mary as related in the Bible. Gabriel is often associated with families, particularly motherhood and children. One of the greatest services we can offer is to house and stand as guardians to new souls on the planet that have incarnated as part of God's generative creative force. Now, we may have a new life coming in the mix as well. Now, this Ace of Fire can seem like not only a salamander egg, but a life egg. There's two of them, right? Ace of Wands. There's two of them here. 2 eggs. So we may be literally birthing a family. So there may be a situation here where we got, yeah, there's a lot of connections here to people. So I'm not too sure Like I said, we might be living 3 lives, but we may have one life here that will be changed by a birth, okay? So just keep that in mind. Gabriel's appeared to you in this card to broadcast a personal message to you. It's time to align to your soul's purpose and deepen your work. To be of service to God in a new initiative to generate transformative energy for the earth. Gabriel's energy can be awe-inspiring and powerful, but do not have any trepidation as you move forward with your soul's purpose. Embrace the opportunity to serve fellow humans in the world in greater ways than you have the capacity to imagine. And another thing that's coming too as well is the fact that maybe our work can involve work with children to a higher degree. I feel like there's a younger person here, like mentoring. That's different. I'm thinking that either somehow through our work, we work with children and gain skills for them or something. Like this could enrich our lives, right? Thinking about children when it comes to work. It may even be as a teacher or a mentor teaching children, you know, literally in schools and whatnot. This kind of thing. So this may have something to do with a purpose or something that's flown through our head here. The moon is the planet that is associated with this card. It says the moon is a powerful force. It changes and fluctuates and governs liquidity on Earth and is often associated with the feminine, including fertility and growth and receptivity and on the emotional spectrum. And we can use the energy and phase of the moon to increase our capacity to receive and focus our intentions. Yeah, interesting. So something here to do with purpose. Either we are going to be more in line with purpose, or really there's a lot about fertility and children and youth. And so it may be that we are gravitating more toward a career that involves youth and how we can have the ability to mentor them in some kind of way. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, the fortune card that we have for Sag, death. Time and natural transition and transformation. And this is the second death card that we have here. There is a transition that is needing to happen. I feel like there is a big scale healing that needs to happen here with the Sag. I almost feel like that's what they feel like they want to give up on. There's a soulmate union here that is challenging them in the highest degree. It's complicating matters because the Sag is not dealing with their emotional side whatsoever. I do not feel anything will change there until that is done. The sense here is we really want to feel. There's a part of the Sag that is awakened enough to know that I'm lacking. In the area of love and passion, I'm lacking, and I want to know more, and that's what's going to make them grow. Whether they can keep these relationships on the side, I don't know, but the one thing that's going to make them grow is the need for more passion, and that's, I guess, what the universe is going to try and squeak their way in there and help them do that. So surrender your need to always be right. There's purpose changes here. I feel like we're seeing that more clearly, being guided highly in that way. They're going, whatever way we're accepted is the way we're going to overflow here. And we're going to just flood everything. And I feel like their purpose is the one area where they're being listened to. Where instinct is being listened to, universal energies, channeling, people from the other side, all of that. That's the only area is the work. And it is paying off, but we're not seeing that we need to be guided in our love or friendship areas. Time of transition is here. So that's, that's positivity. That's positive news. And you kind of got to wait with bated breath here, because the sense is that we've got a Sagittarian here that's had enough of the way things are, but they just don't realize that it's them that has to change. They figure everybody else has to change. And they're starting to see this, but now they need to heal this. So, Sag, that's your reading. Wow. Spirituality for the month. This is the heaviest one I've had so far. So, spirituality for the month. heavy healing. I was going to say heavy heart, but there's no heart involved here. We got to find the heart, uncage it, you know, and then start to let it feel our way forward. And then we'll start to, love will start to come to the surface. Only then, they said. But at this point, you're not going to find love or nothing till we get to the heart and the feelings and the compassion. So take care, Sag. Have fun and be kind.